fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
It's Thursday, December 14th, 2023. I'm Jim Hutchinson with your weekly video fishing forecast for the New Jersey Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman magazine. And that's a soprano. Yes, that is a soprano. Christine Gerke as Brunhilde, singing with the Royal Scottish National Orchestra. You know the saying about the Rubenesque singer, how do I turn this off, who comes in at the end for her big operatic numbers. It's typically a sign that it's time to grab your coat and hat because, well, it's coming to an end. It's sort of like what was sort of like the fourth quarter at an Eagles game. That's about the time you want to jump out now and head to your cars. Beaches have quieted down significantly at the Jersey Shore in the past couple of weeks as things got cold. The epic blitzes in Ocean and Monmouth County have toned down to a couple of mini flurries here and there. But I would tell you, there's still some stripers to be caught along the front beaches. You just need to focus more on structure fishing. You know, maybe work a particular pool for a while or a particular sandbar or slough and then just move on if you don't have a bite. And of course, when those sand eels materialize, which hopefully they will continue to do so, then you've got the teasers and the jigs, the Ava jigs, the sand eel imitations, but continue to move along the beach. I do have friends that are starting every morning someplace here at the Jersey Shore and getting on a couple of stripers right there in the morning. So yeah, it's a pick a fish. Participation is down. Some folks have turned over to soaking baits, soaking clams, even bloodworms. But there are still some fish there. It's just the blitzes are done, so the mass crowds are gone. And the best action right now, of course, is by boat. So if you still have your boat in the slip, or you care to jump aboard a headboat or for hire boat, there are still stripers off the beach. Many boats are picking away at the line siders. Some of them are on the troll, some by jigging down near the bottom with the Ava jigs, maybe even the cod jigs. You know, you're matching those sand eel hatches. Of course, the swim shads as well. And of course, the farther into South Jersey you go, the better your options. Presumably, southern migration, right? North to south. Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle in Brigantine, for example, says John Mack got on him after the Monday weather mess right in front of Atlantic City. Just found that finding those 28 to 31 slot keepers was difficult. But Andy did say there are a lot of stripers schooled up off of Atlantic County, and he wonders how water temperatures will continue to impact that bite. He recommends Mojos, Niners, and Flutter Spoons. As we head down farther into Atlantic and Cape May County, in the South Jersey report this week at thefisherman.com, the crew at Fanatics reported fish inside the 3-mile line, but regrettably, there's more fish outside the line, in the forbidden zone. You're not allowed to target striped bass outside of 3 miles. I don't care if you're just catching and releasing. So, you know, you don't want to put a slot fish in the box and then go out 6 miles and go for tog, because if you get busted with that fish in the box 6 miles out, you're in trouble. But umbrellas on the inside of the line, the inside grounds, inside 3 miles, umbrellas rigged with shads on the troll were working last week, according to the folks at Fanatics. We got a similar report this week out of Cape May from Hands 2 Bait and Tackle. They said a huge number of striped bass were reported last week with some topwater action as well, signified by the birds wheeling and diving on the surface of the water, white poppers, swimmers, shads, spoons, as well as Ava jigs jigged right off the bottom. So yeah, those stripers have spread out along Cape May County. Some of the Delaware boats are coming up and turning left outside Delaware Bay coming across. But again, southern migration. Expect to find those stripers down along the Delaware coast, the Delmarva Peninsula, at this point. Dennis LaHiff, he sent a photo this week of his buddy, his friend Ed Barry, with a nice striper trolled off Fenwick Shoals. I believe that was last Friday. That said, still action along the surf line, less so in Atlantic and Cape May County, but those fish are there. And some of those fish that have been in the back bay and the salty rivers for the last couple of months, some of them will move out front, so you still have that opportunity to score. I've heard from friends fishing in some of the sloppy conditions this past weekend and into Monday had some fish. I heard from Eric Lewandowski. He was bundled up for a northeast swell and rain very recently, found him up to 36 inches in the whitewater in Seaside. Near that particular area behind Barnegat Bay, I spoke to Dennis from Hook House Bait and Tackle in Toms River earlier this week for the reports. He said he hopes to have bloods in stock this week and next for white perch. But he also said striped bass are starting to move into the toms, which historically now, especially since Oyster Creek shut down, the facility, the nuclear generating facility there shut down, I think a lot of those stripers are going back to an old pattern they used to have before that, artificial warm water, and they move into the Toms River to hold over for the winter. That's the same thing that we can be said for the Mullica, the Great Egg, parts of the Delaware, I'm sure, and of course the Raritan River as well. Now keep in mind that as of January 1st, and we're only a couple of weeks away from that, a few weeks away from that, you can't target stripers in the back bays and salty rivers in New Jersey from January 1st till the end of February. And this February is a leap year, by the way. It's a hands-off approach, if you will, to protecting those lethargic winter holdovers from being targeted. And I imagine, just like last year, New Jersey enforcement will be hot on those areas where a lot of folks are throwing Yazoris and Rapala X-Raps for perch. No one is supposed to be targeting striped bass in the back bays and salty rivers in the Garden State after January 1st. And then it's only a matter of waiting a precious couple of months before that March 1st opener here in the Garden State. That will get under hot and heavy, and of course right after that, it's pretty quick in March. It certainly was in 2023. I hope it will be in 2024, when some of those same estuaries, like the Raritan especially, start turning on with some of those big catch and release striped bass. On this week's Open Boat, the holiday shopping spree continues as Jenny meets up with Patty up there at the Tackle Box in Haslet to discuss the perfect stocking stuffers for boat fishermen gearing up for that upcoming spring run on the Raritan.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat holiday special. We're doing a holiday wish list. Our first stop is here at the Tackle Box in Haslet, and today we're going to be going over some perfect stocking stuffers for you boat fishermen. Tackle Box is located prime location at the spring run mecca, the Raritan Bay. Big stripers all in there. So today we're going to see what lures you should get for your holiday wish list.
We have one of our staple lures here at the shop. This is no live bait needed. This is the paddle tail. This is the 5-inch. This is the Hell Yeah Butter, the white paddle tail. Specifically, this one has a 3-ounce head. They also make an 8-inch paddle tail. They make split tails as well. This is by far the best shad in the store, best shad on the market. Perfect bunker, peanut bunker imitation. You can fish the top, the middle, the bottom of the water column. Very versatile, must-have when the bunkers are in. Next up, definitely 2 must-haves on the boat when you're fishing the spring run in Raritan Bay or Sandy Hook Bay. Gotta have a good top water option, and it's good to cover, 2 size ranges: big, full-grown adult bunkers, medium to small size bunkers, simple walk the dog style, and if it ain't bone, leave it at home.
And you can't beat a top water bite when you see those bass blowing your spook out of the water.
Nothing better. And for our plug throwers, if you want to get a little more custom, a little more niche, you've got good glide bait options here. Allen's makes one of the best glide baits, a couple different sizes, shapes. Again, peanut bunker, maybe medium adult size bunker. Cover the medium, middle, bottom of the water column with these sinking gliders. And all you got to do is retrieve. They do all the work for you. Definitely fish catchers. And last but not least is when you're on the boat and you can't seem to find any fish, or birds are working on top and they're stacked on the bottom like cordwood, you definitely need yourself a flutter spoon. This is so simple, so tried and true. Drop this down to the bottom, get a tight line and jig up and down, let it drop. This is proven, tried and true. When there's bunkers and bass on the bottom, you definitely need a flutter spoon.
So all these products can fit nicely in your stocking this holiday season. So definitely consider stopping into the Tackle Box in Haslet. From trout to tuna, they have it all. And stock up for the holiday season and get ready for the spring run. See you guys next week.
Speaking of holiday gifts, the ads that pop up on my Facebook feed this time of year are often priceless. Some of them are a little bit crazy. Others, like this one, these stylish $245 boots from Cole Haan. Cole Haan? I don't know, some ritzy fashion designer, I guess. Those are the $100 hook boots, the Rogue Wave boots that I have on the right. My family tells me I'm not very stylish. You kidding me? Fishing must be stylish. It's got to be the in thing in the global style. I mean, clearly, they're the same styled boots. The $250 Cole Haans and my ugly hook boots. They ain't ugly. They're stylish. Tog, that's the in thing here at the Jersey Shore as we get into the middle of December, as the bite has improved significantly based on our latest reports over at thefisherman.com. Water temps are dropping. Tog are moving from the inside to the outside, and anglers are now finding much better action, especially on those charter and headboat trips up and down the coast. On Wednesday, sea temperature net, they pegged the water temperatures at Ocean City, New Jersey at 48 degrees. So yeah, we're down below 50. Probably, maybe it's even a little warmer off the beach, but that's where I'm sure there's still plenty of big stripers out there. They just haven't migrated south yet. They're off of the beach right now, but that drop in water temperature should mean better tog action as we're experiencing. I also think it's going to help out with the offshore sea bite as well. Big fish honors of the past week go to Joe Schnell of Long Island. He decked a 17-pound monster blackfish aboard the Big Mohawk 3 out of Belmar using a 1.5-ounce tog jig. Greg Hewitt tells me they kept that fish in a live well for hours, I believe, and they finally brought the monster back for a release. Yeah, well done, Captain Peyton and crew. An enormous catch there. I also heard from Manny Rios on Monday. He said he fished out of South Jersey on Friday with his buddy Bruce Stout. Reported an 11-pounder and a 20-pounder? 20? Really? That's a big fish, no matter what that is. That is a big fish. But I am thrilled to hear from more folks who are releasing those big teen-sized blackfish, letting them go off and spawn. I mean, blackfish is a slow-growing species. I'm not sure how much north-south migration they actually do. But it's primarily, under my opinion anyway, it's an east-west migration. So a lot of the places that they're moving for and towards and out of, east and west, some of the same pieces of structure time after time, which leads to a lot of localized depletion. So letting those big, fat, jumbo blackfish go whenever and wherever possible is a really great move for the future of tog. Speaking of jumbos, there are quite a few of them in front in the form of bluefin tuna just off the beach, just beyond the line, on out to the lumps, the bumps and ridges, mostly under 20 miles. The Jersey Nuts boys decked a good one on Wednesday morning, a bloody mess for sure, but you got to take care of your catch. You got to bleed it if you're bringing it home for the table. So you got to get used to that. Then once you get back to the dock, hose them off, and they look nice and prim and proper again. Like this one, 17-year-old Ellie Mae White got a good one over the weekend at the Jersey Shore, 114.5 pounds. Yes, you can get them on the troll, you can get them by jigging, you can get them by running and gunning, you can get them by casting. Again, pick up that December edition of the Fisherman magazine. It's only in newsstands for another week. You only have that opportunity for a few more days. But Captain Jimmy Frieda has a great article in this December edition on targeting those bluefin at the Jersey Shore. That's on page 14. It's called Holiday Sashimi. It's a darn good fishery. And best of all, it's an inshore fishery this time of year for the most part. You don't have the Fisherman magazine? Well, give yourself a gift right now. $29.95 subscription to the Fisherman magazine. And also, for the holidays, comes with a $20 gift card from Surehold Marine Products for cleaning up your boat. That holiday sale is going on right now at thefisherman.com. Get a subscription or two today. Feed a magazine editor this holiday season. Seriously, get a subscription. You got to keep me around, man. So, do I have to call Sally Struthers to do a commercial appeal to ask for me? Get your subscription to the Fisherman magazine. The Dreamboat Fishing Challenge, a subscribers-only season-long tournament. It's a wrap. We did the polygraph exam. We've got a brand new winner. Let's go back to our virtual studio and hear more from Tim C. Smith on this year's big winner.
The 2023 Dreamboat Challenge is now official. Bobby Cifarelli passed the polygraph test with flying colors and we can now formally introduce him as the winner. With a steady stream of top-tier entries and one heroic landing in the form of his 16.26-pound blackfish on November 11th, he secured the grand prize with his perseverance. Second place winner Kyle Kraus gave him all he could handle, logging points in a staggering 6 of the 7 species categories. He tied Bobby for points, but was beaten on the tiebreaker because of Bobby's giant tog. Third place went to Norman Bouchard. He went the quality over quantity route, landing the largest bluefish of the year at 16.2 pounds and the fourth largest sea bass at 4.15 pounds. Bobby Cifarelli wins the Steigercraft 21 Classic powered by a Yamaha 150 horsepower and a Minn Kota Riptide Tarova with a Humminbird Apex 13 chart plotter and an Orion offshore first aid kit. Kyle Kraus wins the fishing vacation of a lifetime. He and up to 3 guests will travel to Marina Pez Vela in Capos, Costa Rica, where they will enjoy world-class accommodations and 3 fishing charters for a variety of exotic species. Norman Bouchard wins the Sea Eagle Fishing Explorer 350 FX inflatable kayak, complete with their fish rig package. Each top 3 winner will also receive a $200 gift certificate from Surehold, the leader in cleaning supplies for all your home, auto, and marine cleaning and polishing needs.
Black sea bass still in play this month, ends December 31st. Same as porgy, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was last year when the powers that be at the federal level, they shortened the porgy season by quite a bit, took away our January and February season. So unless I see something otherwise noted by the state of New Jersey, I can only assume that we're ending that fishery too as of January 1st. Ho, ho, ho. Keep in mind, you'll need to register again to fish marine waters in the state of New Jersey for 2024. It's the law. The new system at the state of New Jersey, it's being integrated into the other licensing database, freshwater hunting licenses, all that. So they're trying to bring everything together. I'm not entirely sure about what it's going to look like just yet. The migration happens through the rest of this week. It's supposed to be all linked up by Friday, December 15th. I will let you all know what's going on next week. I'll give you the exact domain address where you can go. But if you've already registered in the saltwater register, you've been fishing for years, you understand you've got to get it. You've already received the email notification from the state of New Jersey. If you're not registered right now and you've been fishing, then you're probably a scofflaw. And if you're a scofflaw, you're not going to be in the database and you're not going to getting that email notification. So, but please, it's free. You got to register. You got to do it. I do know the 2024 Freshwater Fishing Digest is available from the state of New Jersey. It's online at njfishandwildlife.com. Should be in those freshwater shops soon enough. Has all the information that you need to plan out your upcoming freshwater hunts towards the end of this year and into 2024. For more on that sweetwater action, let's go out to the Poconos. Check in with my buddy George, the Pocono Outdoors guy.
Well, hey, thanks, Jim. You know, it's mid-December, and usually this is a very slow time of year. Fishing usually slows down. You know, the temperatures are getting a bit colder. We've already had snow up here in the Poconos, and I'm sure many of you folks did as well. But that usually puts a little bit of a damper on some of the fishing. But the moderate temperatures going forward, you know, we're not seeing any ice over the next probably 2 weeks. I think we'll be well into January before we can go out and hit that hard water, but we'll certainly keep an eye on that for you guys and let you know where we start to develop some fishable ice. But some guys are really bent on making sure they do catch fish in this open water. I had my friend Tim Keebler check in and said he's hitting smallmouth all over the Delaware. It's a great bite there going on if you want to get out and wet a line. Also locally, my good friend Josh Taylor, well, he said, you know, he's not waiting for anything of these stripers. He went out and got himself in a few really nice stripers and even managed to get himself one big chunky walleye. And these are all at Beltsville Lake, guys, so lots of good fishing locally. Temps there, you know, they're still in the low to mid 40s. So like I said, we got quite a bit of time to go before we get any kind of hard water here. So we'll let you know how that pans out. But guys, right now, enjoy whatever season you can. Get out. There is still some good open water fishing, so get out and get on them. But from Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
Captain Ben, Jackpot Sport Fishing from Marina Pez Vela, is out this week. He's off. But I did get a really good report from Capos earlier this week from Jim Quinn, a local fisherman reader who was out there in Cape Os for a few days of action last week with his buddy Luke McHale from the Poconos, and Jim's wife, Lee. Jim here with a super nice mahi. I believe this is like a 50-incher. Jim's wife, also nabbed a good one. That's this photo with Captain Ben there. You can see they released this mahi. It's got that green, gray fish tag, streamer tag in there. We're at that time of year. It's starting to get colder. We're into December. This is the time we start looking ahead towards taking off a few days, a few weeks, whatever you can possibly do, and getting in those vacations for the season. I highly recommend a trip to Costa Rica for anglers and for the whole family. I have taken my family to Costa Rica, stayed down near Dominical one year. The kids went horseback riding, kayaking. We did the zip lines, the canopy tours. I've been to Puerto Jimenez. And last year I was there at Cape Os at Marina Pez Vela. And it is absolutely beautiful. It's just a couple hours drive from San Jose Airport, relatively easy travel. And then once you get to the destination, they'll get you all set up, whether it's the fishing trips, the horseback rides out to Nyuka Falls, all that good stuff. Let me leave you this week with this little segment. I did it last year with our producer, Tim Smith, on site at Marina Pez Vela. I'll let Jeff D here give you all the details on this unique fishing destination, A La Pura Vida. You can get more information by going to marinapezvela.com. Enjoy this segment, and I'll see you next week right here at thefisherman.com.
The marina's been around for about 15 years since its inception. But the most important phase of the marina has taken place in the last 8 years. And today there's 180 boats sitting here. We have enough space for 200. A little slip expansion, which will probably add about 30 more slips. That's the water side. So we have a Marina Pez Vela guest center here. They take care of everything for you. They can book your fishing tours, they can book your land tours, they can help you get directions around Cape Os, recommend restaurants. If your family wants to do some spas while they're here, we have 2 or 3 really impressive spas here in the area. We can do all that right from here. We do currently have a pool on site, which is great. So we have a rooftop pool that overlooks the marina. We have a great commercial plaza here. We get 6 restaurants, all different stuff, an Italian ice cream shop and a Cuban restaurant and a couple sports bars and plenty of tours and stores for retail. Yeah, I mean, we're right here in Manuel Antonio Cape Os. We're in the Pacific Central, or the Central Pacific of Costa Rica. And it is the heart of tourism here. I mean, within 10 minutes of our marina, you have zip lining, which we call them canopy tours. You have whitewater rafting. You have trips to 2 or 3 falls, including Nyuka Falls, which is our biggest waterfall. You have horseback riding. You have ATV off-road through the jungle. And you have the Manuel Antonio National Park, which is 8 kilometers up the road, which is the most visited national park and was recently named one of the 25 best beaches in the world. And that's all within 5 miles from the marina. So there's direct flights from many places in the US to San Jose. Once you get to San Jose, it's a direct shot, it's a toll road, very safe, well-traveled. You go through some of the old banana, African palm plantations. It's a very scenic ride as well.